I'm so excited about my trip to Lake Martin, Alabama. Okay, they have boats, they have canoeing, they've got water tricycle. I'm not really 100% sure what that is, but I'm going. Paddleboard, kayaking, jet skiing. It's only like $25 to rent a jet ski. This is amazing. Hey, I forgot you were coming, but I'm glad you're here because I got to go through my vacation checklist and I need some help. Okay, here we go. So outfits, you already know. I've got that Links to League gear. I got some t-shirts, some green tees. That's already up in there. So outfits, check. Reading materials. Okay, so I've got Booker T. Washington. I got some W.E.B. Du Bois. I got some historically responsive literacy, Gholti Muhammad, and a Southern Living magazine featuring Carmion Hamilton's feature because, that's important. Also, I'm going to need some masks, right? COVID-19, social distancing. Make sure that, keep myself safe. Hand sanitizer, definitely. Always need that. Headscarf, gotta keep those edges on fleek. Listen, always does me right. Boots, my favorite boots. It's gonna get muddy down there, so I'm definitely gonna need a pair of boots up in here. Like, yeah, these are my favorite. All right. And lunch. Okay, lunch. Packed all my favorites too for lunch. That's gonna be amazing. Ooh. Yes, and then, okay, not really sure what this is, but you never know. You never know. You never know. You gotta be on top of everything. Gonna bring my laptop. I'm not supposed to be working. I'm supposed to be working, but I might do a little work. No, I'm not gonna do a little work. I'm vacationing. And then, research. I am supposed to research the history of Lake Martin, Alabama. Okay, I didn't do that. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. And we'll come back to this. Welcome to Decolonized.
You're the only story that I ever knew. Learn about the past so you can be a better you. Most time, repeats itself, ain't really a mystery. So we know our stuff, so we don't repeat history. So we go from Dred Scott to hip-hop to Harlem, we shake. From civil to movements to ML the K. From Adam to CJ to walking this way. From marching to leftists to election '08. And here are some things that I want you to know. We didn't only have Miss Walker, we had Annie Malone. Harriet never said that slavery quote. Your story didn't start with a big old boat. Royalty with thrones. You can even minus the mo. Built many cities and they all kept us afloat. Don't let your legacy catch you by surprise, cause we gon' cover it all in Decolonized.
Okay, let's do some research. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Lake Martin, Alabama. Here we go. So I see that it is located in Tallapoosa, Elmore, and Coosa counties in Alabama. 44,000 acre reservoir, 750 miles. What else is there? That's a really nice place. Look at the coast and the trees. People fishing, touring. I wonder what would happen if I tried Black history. Drown towns. Ghost cities. What traces of ghost cities lie beneath Alabama's man-made lakes? Echoes across the waters? Dozens of small communities submerged? Benson, a community of mostly Black residents founded in 1895 by Will Benson? Interesting. Lake Martin, Alabama is just a tourist destination. That is colonized. A primary source can become a treasure map. This is what William E. Benson left us. When the world almost forgot him and the waters swallowed parts of Benson, an artifact rose from those same waters. It told us of a Black town that thrived in the middle of Alabama, a cousin to Black Wall Street, Rosewood, Eatonville, and more. From schoolyard to church bell to patter of small feet galore, they were Black excellence dipped in Southern swag, and most was mighty fine. Before civil rights and Black arts, there was another time that was divine. Wow, so this is it. The Cow Elijah School for Colored Youth. And look at that, William Benson, Secretary and Treasurer, August 22nd, 1912. This will tell me all that I need to know. That proposal is a primary source. It's an immediate first-hand account of a topic from people who had a direct connection to it. You see, a letter brought me here. A letter is also a primary source. William E. Benson wrote letters asking for funding for his school, the Cow-Elijah School, and that led me to this fascinating report. Here's what I now know about Cow-Elijah and the Bensons. While Cow-Elijah's legacy continued with William E. Benson, he wasn't his founder. Cow-Elijah, Alabama was started by William's dad, John J. Benson. In the 1860s, John J. Benson was an enslaved person near Cow-Elijah Creek. He lived on a plantation. He was freed as a teenager, and he headed to Florida to find a sister who he was separated from during slavery. Many families were separated during slavery. You see, separating families is a part of American history. Like John Benson's sister, enslaved African children were separated from their families. Native American children were routinely taken from their homes by force and sent to barbaric Indian schools, where their names and culture were stripped away. Many of these children did not see their families again. Thousands of children that haven't been charged today are in juvenile prisons because they can't afford bail. And immigrant children are being held in detention camps away from their families right now. After John rescued his sister, he worked in the coal mines and made his way back to Alabama and saved $100. Hold on, let's get some context. $100 in 1880 is worth, let's see, $2,551.76 today. Oh boy, that's a lot of money. Let's get back to it. John purchased 160 acres of the plantation he was once enslaved on. He built homes, farms, and purchased more land for his people. By 1873, John had a town over 3,000 acres of land, grew cotton, corn, and sugarcane on many farms, opened mills that supplied oak, hickory, pine, and timber, and had a wife and 3 children. One of those children was William E. Benson. John sent William away to school, and when he graduated from Howard College in 1895, now Samford University, he came back home with a plan. He learned photography in school and took pictures of his father's community and used those pictures to travel across the country and get funds to expand the one-room school cabin his father had started as the Cow-Elijah School, soon to be the Cow-Elijah Institute. As a way to raise more funds, he started the first Black-owned railroad. Right there in Cow-Elijah, Alabama, they transported goods from their mills and they also transported people. And how do I know all of this? Because of good old primary sources, especially the 17th annual report of the Cow-Elijah School. This proposal told me a lot of what I needed to know. Here's what we've learned so far. John J. Benson was once an enslaved man that was freed. When he was freed, he rescued his sister in Florida, and they made their way back to Alabama. Once he made his way back to Alabama, he began to work in the coal mines and saved $100. John used the $100 to purchase land, homes, and farms. Soon he owned thousands of acres of land, sold homes to Black people, and formed a community. He also started a family. And then there's William E. Benson. William Benson, John's son, came home from school and helped his father expand his business. He started the Dixieland Company and expanded the Cow-Elijah School. Oh, and don't forget, he also started the railroad, too.
You know, some of our textbooks, some of our sources, they're not always correct. Sometimes we miss a few things or we come across inaccurate information. You can interrogate your sources, question your sources, primary sources and secondary sources. But sometimes I feel like secondary sources need more questioning. You know? Who wrote it? What was the purpose? Did they get all of the facts right? And how can I verify if they got all of the facts right? Maybe I need the subject or someone who was around at that time to tell me more information. And I'll probably find that information in a primary source.
Here's some new information that you should know. William Benson was asking for funds to outfit an industrial building for which $10,000 was needed. I pulled this from a primary source, a newspaper called the Hartford Courant in 1900. And also, there are other newspaper articles that suggest that he was looking for an architect. And he found one. His name was William Gray Purcell. A secondary source discusses this hiring. It says that Purcell made his way to Cowalaja, Alabama, and was hired by William Benson, an African-American farmer, on the recommendation of his grandfather, who was a friend of Booker T. Washington. Benson, who had once been a slave, owned several thousand acres of land, and he wanted to build an ideal farm community for himself and others. Here is the sketch that William Gray Purcell designed for William Benson. Just to be clear, a secondary source is information that was created later by someone who did not experience firsthand or participate in the events or conditions you are researching. Based on the information we know about William Benson, this secondary source is mostly inaccurate. It's wrong. William Benson was not a farmer and was never enslaved. In 1900, he graduated from school and came back home to Cowalaja to help his father expand their community. In 1900, William was the president of Dixieland Company and seeking an architect. And William Gray Purcell became that architect and drew sketches, but his designs were not used.
Do you remember when I said we could reclaim Black history? That's what we just did. We set the record straight. We corrected a source. We interrogated it with information that we come across reading our primary sources. We just reclaimed Black history. Okay, remember when I said William was a photographer too? Well, there are a lot of pictures of Cowalaja in the proposal we found. And now I'd like to show you some of them. Enjoy.
Here is Cowalaja in all of its glory. Look at the school, Cowalaja Industrial and Academic Institute. Students standing in the front of the building. Here are Cowalaja's residents gathering for quarterly meeting day at the community church. Here is a child of Cowalaja, a small girl who likely looks over her siblings. Here is a man affectionately named Uncle Sam, one of the pioneers of Cowalaja. Had 4 buildings, dormitories for students, orchards for students to learn how to grow things, kitchens and shops where students learn home economics and carpentry, science labs, a glee club, photography, its own chapter of the YWCA and YMCA, and a large library. After William Benson's death in 1915 and the eventual closing of the school, Benson was destroyed to make way for a reservoir and tourist destination called Lake Martin in Alabama. But John J. Benson and William E. Benson's legacy lives on today. Connoisseurs of civil engineering, philanthropy, community organizing, and so much more